morning, class. This is Teacher Joker from Module Culture School. I am teaching under the English program and also the homeroom teacher of grade 5/1. Okay, class, our subject for today is science, and our topic for today is we're going to continue our activity about food web. Okay, class, are you ready for our lesson today? Okay, I hope everybody's ready. So we can now start our lesson. So before we start, let's have first our vocabulary for today. Let's read, and then after, I'm going to show you the pictures of our vocabulary. So one is plants, plants. Number two, grasshopper, grasshopper. Three, spider, spider. Four, toad, toad. Five, snake, snake. Number six, owl, owl. Number seven, squirrel, squirrel. Number eight, deer, deer. And number nine, we have tiger, tiger. Okay, now I'm going to show you the pictures of this vocabulary. So first we have plants. So those are examples of plants. Another is we have here, what is this, class? Do you know what is this? This is a grasshopper, grasshopper. Next is, what is this? Do you know this one, class? Oh, this is what we call spider, spider. And what is this, class? This is toad, toad. And a snake. Okay, this is what we call snake. How about this, class? Do you know this one? Oh, this is what we call owl, owl. And we have squirrel. Okay, we have lots of squirrel around. Okay, they live under the trees. So this is squirrel. And this is, what is this, class? Deer. Okay, it's a deer. How about this one? It's a tiger, tiger. Okay, now for our activity today, this is on page 10 on your workbook. Okay, so can you open your workbook on page 10 and then see number 8. Okay, we're going to continue our activity in number 8. So it shows there the example of a food chain. So on number 8, letter A, based on the food chain above, construct a food web. Okay, so this one is an example of food chain. Okay, like for example, we have plant. Plant is the producer. Grasshopper is the consumer because the grasshopper eats the plant. And then the spider eats the grasshopper. And then here comes the toad. The toad eats the spider. And then the snake eats the toad. And then the owl eats the snake. Okay, another food chain is we have again plant. Plant is the producer here. Grasshopper eats the plant. Spider eats the grasshopper. Toad eats the spider. Owl eats the toad. And then another food chain, we have plant again. Squirrel eats the plant, and then owl eats the squirrel. Okay, and the last food chain, we have plant as a producer. Deer eats the plant, and then tiger eats the deer. So that's the examples of food chain. Now, based on the food chain that we had here, construct or make a food web. Okay, so we're going to make a food web using this following food chains there. Okay, so I'm going to show you an example, and then later on you can make your own food web. Okay, this is just an example, class, but you can make your own food web. So let's start. Okay, so in food web and food chain, it starts in producers or These are plants. Producers are plants. Okay, class? Because they use the energy of sunlight to process their own food, or knownly they are called autotroph. So plants, and then who can eat plants? Grasshopper, right? And then an animal that can eat grasshopper is a spider. And then an animal that can eat spider is a toad. Okay, but a toad can be eaten by an owl or a snake. And then coming from the producer, which is plants, plant can be eaten by a deer also, right? And then a deer can be eaten by a tiger. And then from that, we have also squirrel, wherein squirrel can eat plants, and then the owl can eat the squirrel. So this is an example of food web using these food chains over there. Okay, so I show you an example. You can do your own way on making a food web using this food chains here, so you can make your own. Okay, so that's letter A, number 8. Now let's have letter B. Why are plants important in food chain? Okay, why is it that plant is very important in food chain? Okay, as what I've said a while ago, all producers in food chain or food web are plants. Why plants? Because plants needs energy from the sun to process their own food, or they are called autotroph. All producers are autotroph, okay? And autotrophs are plants. Okay, so there, plants are important in food chain because plants are the producers, meaning they produce food for the consumers. Understand? So for example, let's take a look in the food chain. This is a flower. Flower is considered a plant. Okay? Why is it that plant is very important in the food chain? Why is it important? Because for without plant, what will the rat eat? And what will the snake eat? And what will the eagle eat? So producer or plants are very important in food chain because the plants produces food for the consumers or for the animals. These are called consumers, okay? They are called consumers. Why consumers? Because they consume the food coming from the producers. Okay, class? So that's letter B. Again, why are plants important in food chain? Plants are important in food chain because plants are the producers, or they provide or give food for the consumers or the animals. Okay? Number 9, sorry. So number 9, every organism in food chain will die. Every organism in food chain will die. Okay, so every animal in food chain will automatically die if time comes. Why? Because they have lifespan. Okay, every living things have lifespan. Every living things dies. Okay, so what will happen to its body? For example, if the eagle will die, what will happen? The body will decompose. Okay, again, we have a new word here. Decompose. Decompose. Again, say it please. Decompose. So when we say decompose, it will be rotten. So for example, the snake. If the snake will die, it will turn into like that. Okay? Bacteria and other organisms will break down its body. So it will be rotten or decompose. So take a look of this one. If a dog or this is a dog or a fox. Okay, if the dog dies, it will be rotten. Okay, like that. Other organisms will live into their body, which can cause their body to be decomposed or rotten. So that is what we call decompose. The body will be rotten. Okay, so again, every organism in food chain will die. What will happen to its body? The body will decompose, and decompose is this one. Okay, this is what we call decompose. The body will be rotten. And letter B, name two examples of organisms that will carry out the process mentioned on letter A. Okay, so can you give me an example of animals that if they will die, they will be decomposed? Example is a snake and a dog. Okay, if a snake will die, they will be decomposed like this one. Okay, if they will die, this will happen. And if a dog dies, this will happen also. Okay, so and other animals, all animals or all living things, if all living things will die, they will be decomposed. Okay, so what will happen there is organism will break down their dead bodies. Okay, class, so that's all I think with your activity today. Kindly do those ones on page 10 to 11 on your workbook. Okay? And again, if you have any question on our activity today, kindly message me in line. Okay, class? So let's call it a day, and thank you for listening, by the way. See you again next time.